Oh, hello. You're not supposed to come out.
All right, so it is definitely fall. Feeling almost like winter this morning, right? So all snuggled, and we needed to wear beanies. I think we might have tapped the 40s this morning, which means we're not far away from chill hours for our trees. Had Thanksgiving yesterday, right? So that was a nice relaxing day, which was unusual for us. Got to spend some time with the kids and with Nate and Tara and their family, and of course have some turkey. Which we need to keep it down when we talk about turkeys and Thanksgiving, because we've got our pet turkeys wandering around. We don't want them overhearing that. Yesterday, some of our other neighbors right across from us, Jake and Shay, hi guys, we got
a phone call.
Got a phone call in the morning from Shay because Bailey decided she wanted to go wandering yesterday. She heard something about turkeys and Thanksgiving, and she was ready to go visit everybody.
Good morning. Happy Turkey Day. What are you guys doing? You gotta go home. Go home, unless you want to be eaten for Turkey Day. Come on, go, go, go. Go, go. Go home. Go on. I'm walking the turkey home right now. Go on.
Yep, she was in front of their house. And Shay had to push her back this way.
Yep. So
Shay.
That's kind of funny. You live next to a farm. You're getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner. Your alarm goes off at your front door, and it's a turkey.
Yep.
Saying hello. The ducks and the turkeys are both doing a good job of cleaning up all of our spring beds. I got a good shot of them this morning. The ducks are still munching on the sweet potato vines, which are still hanging in there, even as cold as we are. And the turkeys are still cleaning up the cowpea beds. It just amazes me that the turkeys can eat those beans whole. It's hard to imagine. So I want to make sure I show everybody, when we were processing our Thanksgiving turkeys, we always get pretty good sized grit that comes out of the gizzards, because the gizzards go home with everyone. This year there was a rock There's no other way to describe this other than a rock. I mean, big enough that you'd want to skip, that was inside one of the gizzards of a beautiful, perfectly healthy turkey. It was just odd to see that. That was never coming out of there. No, that was not going to come out. That was a permanent fixture inside the gullet of that guy. So with the colder weather here in Arizona and the chance of some freezing temps this week, very good chance, here at the beginning, almost beginning of December, there is one thing in particular here on the farm that we need to make sure we take care of before we start seeing those freezing temps.
Yeah.
Kids,
No.
you got it. Probably not. So we're here next to our turkey area. You can see we actually have our pet turkeys here with us. And we've finished our Thanksgiving turkeys. And one of the things that we are utilizing on both sides of our turkey pasture area are some moringa trees. Ours are actually still flowering here and still setting some fruit. I've got some drumsticks or the pods that it creates here coming off of these trees. However, they are starting to go dormant with the cooler weather because these love our summer heat. They are not a fan of our winters. In fact, we've completely killed a full-grown tree when we got down to 20 degrees, not protecting it during the wintertime. So one of the things we've learned is once we have our frost temperatures in the forecast, we need to come back and make sure that these trees are put to bed. So we're gonna go ahead and show you what we're gonna do to make sure that we keep these nice and protected all winter long. Leave. See what I did there? So one of the things that we do with our moringa trees is we do pollard them each season. Now we've done pollarding here for the last couple of years. It's worked really well. It allows us to cover them a lot easier. Now you could just go ahead and wrap the tree like this. However, what we do is use a 3-foot hardware cloth, a 3-foot wide hardware cloth. We cut them into 6-foot long lengths, and then we wrap them into these cages, which we use all over the farm, especially for new plantings. However, for these moringa trees, it also is gonna give us a chance to cover these trees and keep some of the cold and frost off of them. So you can see last year's cut is right here, and you get an idea of the size of the tree and the difference. It's increased its width, caliper, whatever you wanna call it, of the trunk, by probably about twice the size here over the growing season. You can see our cut here in the middle. It grew in a couple different spots here, which is what it does, is put off new growth in the spring. But we've got this cut so that it's just below the height of the cage here. I've got another cut back a little bit further down that you can't see just off camera, but this is gonna give us a couple more spots for the tree to grow come next season. Now we're gonna go ahead and get it covered. Oh, you can see where it was last year.
The circle?
Yeah.
That's funny. That'll hold.
So you can see we're using some burlap squares. I'm not sure exactly where you can get these all the time, but a burlap bag that's cut up the seams will work as well. Just something to give a little bit of a blanket to keep the frost from settling on the tree itself, give it a little bit of insulation. Now, one of the things that we can also come back and do if it's gonna get too cold, say down into the 20s, we can easily remove the burlap, fill this with any type of leaf or wood chip mulch to insulate it just a little bit better. Get down into those lower 20s. If that happens this year, we can easily come back and add some additional insulation. But we need to get through the rest of these trees and get them covered here for the season. So you can see, very simple for us to come back through, get these covered, ready for the winter season. Now we have a lot of material here. There's a lot of things you can do with this. You can chip it if you'd like. It actually goes through a chipper really, really well, very easily, even smaller chippers, because they're so lightweight. They're very, very light. Obviously, these are wonderful greens, so you can dry these at this point. We like to do that and turn it into a powder, put it into smoothies. And one of the beautiful things about moringa, especially when you have pigs, is these have sticks, leaves, and pods, also flowers, that the pigs will completely devour. There will be absolutely nothing left. So I think, at least for this first pile, that's what we ought to do. This is the very first moringa tree we had planted here on the farm. We actually had it potted, kept it from the old farm, and transplanted it. Now, we did a few things differently when we planted this tree out. We dug some heavy trenching along the outside to see if we could capture some rainwater, just to get an idea of how well this older tree was going to do. We also decided we were going to go ahead and coppice this. Now, we pollard most of the trees. We showed you that. That simply means you've got a 3-ish foot tall trunk, and that's where the new growth starts out. Coppicing, you actually cut it all the way back down to the ground each year and then let the shoots come out from there. The concern we had was rabbits and other things that might gnaw on the trunk, but so far this is actually working out pretty good. So what we're gonna do with this is simply cover it with burlap. I've got a clip on this side to make sure it doesn't come apart. Last year we didn't have a problem with this. Now, if you get too much moisture during the wintertime, this could be a problem. Obviously, we're very dry here in Arizona. Even with all of our rain that we got earlier this year, this tree did fine with just some burlap on it like this. So coppicing these trees does work, so we'll see how this one does.
Gonna break them off of here?
Yeah, I want to get just the small branches.
Okay.
Been talking a little bit today about things that we're kind of putting to bed for the winter. Now the pasture is really quite the opposite. You can see the pasture is really taken off here in the cooler weather. If you guys recall, we have a couple things that we have growing in here that have been doing so over the last 3 years. We have alfalfa, which is a perennial crop for us. It basically grows year round with enough moisture. And we have the perennial rye, which is only here for the wintertime. Now, this is where we typically are running our broiler chickens, and we will be doing that in the spring. So the reality for this is it's feeding our chickens, giving us nice dark orange yolks, which we love, and it's preparing for our broiler chickens that'll be here early spring here in a few months.
As we start to prepare for pruning for the winter season of the grapevines, we're first going through and cleaning up the bottom of all the vines and using it to feed our goats.
Don't let it slip, otherwise it's going to be weak.
I just want one in for the pig.
Oh,
It cracked.
uh-oh. There we go.
Okay.
On in 3. 3, 2, 1. I guess I was on 1. So one of the things that happened last year, you guys, I don't know whether you guys saw the episode or not, but talked a little bit about some issues that I was having and some mental health issues, like some serious ones. And you know, we don't talk a lot about it here. I'm not going to talk a lot about it today, but one of the things that I think I learned for the first time in my life, I've got a very A-type personality, is I can't do everything and not rest. And so one of the things last year that we did, because really I was forced into it, was to take the month of December off. And I think we're going to do the same. And we enjoy putting content out for you guys, and you know, want to make sure that we're doing that, and we really want to have the best thing out there for you guys, and that takes a lot of effort. You know, it takes time on the weekends, and I work full time and come home on in the evenings to help you do most of the editing, but I help to finish up the editing and obviously on the weekends. So comments, we love interacting with you guys, and we want to make sure that we can be our best, and in order to do that we need to have a break, and so that's what we're going to do. Now, one of the things that we are going to start is the other channel, right? So we are going to spend some time on that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's our goal.
That's our goal. And you know, we've got, I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, but it's Healthy Farm Living, and one of the things that we've been doing, you okay?
Fly into my face.
One of the things that we kind of put that channel on hold last year because we needed to, and the idea behind that channel was really to share recipes and things like that of the produce from the farm.
Yeah.
But we do have some content up there. We enjoy fermenting. So fermenting is one of our hobbies. Winemaking, we did share that here and on that channel. So we started with kind of those two things, but now that we have more produce from the farm, we're going to get more content up there for you guys. So we're going to get that fired back up. So we'll spend some time doing that. So you may see us here during the break, because those are a little bit easier for us to do.
Yeah.
So there is actually one other video that we're gonna post here at the end of the year on this channel, and that is our blooper reel. So if you guys don't know, we usually put our bloopers at the end of the videos, and only about 20% of you stay, which is fine. But for those of you who don't, once a year, you guys get to see all of that as a compilation. So we get the best ones of some of the craziness that happens to us here on the farm. So if you guys don't want to completely lose track of what we're doing, make sure you guys are on Instagram and Facebook. We've got pages there. We will post content there, right? Little Miss, my phone is full of pictures and videos and I never post anything.
Yeah.
So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this newly established functioning farm and would love to see you on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go in the
comment section down below.
That's right. And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That is a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. And hey, don't forget about that link here, holiday season. You guys are doing some shopping. Hey, just start with that link. You know what? Amazon doesn't need all that money. They can float us a few cents.
A few cents.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is.
If you don't use the link, they get all of it. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere,
so can you.
All right, come on, baby.
Ooh.
Go home, Duck.
Come on, turkeys!